Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, Out of Voice Radio. So today, we are going to be looking at another exciting new card from the upcoming Crimson Invasion expansion. It is Crawdaunt, and the first thing that we need to mention about Crawdaunt is that it is a water Pokemon. Now that's interesting, because we haven't seen a water Crawdaunt since way back in the Legends Awakened expansion, part of the Diamond and Pearl block. Since then, we've seen Crawdaunt G in Supreme Victors. Most recently, we've seen a Crawdaunt in Primal Clash, but both of those are Darkness type. So this is the first Water type Crawdaunt we've had in quite a while. Now, being a water type is actually quite a good thing, because you have got both Volcanion and Turtonator that are weak to water Pokemon, and we do always need to bear in mind at this stage that although they are generally played with Ho-Oh, and Ho-Oh is weak to lightning Pokemon, not to water Pokemon. And with Kiawe attaching 4 energy from your deck and ending your turn, and Ho-Oh needing 4 energy to do 180, shall we say that a lot of the time, these Volcanion Turtonator decks can cover their weakness quite nicely using Ho-Oh. Now, being a water Pokemon also gives a couple of advantages to Crawdaunt. You gain Brooklet Hill, which means that you can just search for a Corphish and pop it onto your bench. The Corphish, as a quick side note, Retreat of 2 is a bit annoying. Weak to Grass is fine. And 70 HP is better than 60 HP because of things like Decidueye is making a comeback, takes 1 more Feather Arrow than if it had 60, and Greninja Break cannot get a one-hit KO. But 2 Water Energy for 30 is a little bit terrible. But anyway, back to Crawdaunt, who is of course the focus of this video. The other great advantage you get being a water Pokemon is Aqua Patch, which allows you to attach a water energy from your discard pile to Crawdaunt, which is handy because Crawdaunt has very expensive attacks. I say attacks like there's more than one. There isn't. One very expensive attack. Retreat of 2 is the worst retreat cost in the game, because it's the highest retreat cost before you get to use Heavy Ball. Weakness to Grass is not the end of the world. Most annoying weakness you've got here is Golisopod, but Golisopod will get a one-hit KO with First Impression anyway. And as for the 110 HP, it's fine. It's not great, but it's alright. But the main thing we're looking at here is the attack. Water, 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 colourless, which is mighty expensive, 80 damage. Discard 2 energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. And it's that part of the attack, ladies and gentlemen, that makes us go, ooh, rather than just, no, that's way too expensive. Because here's the thing. 80 damage alone is alright. It means you'll get a one-hit KO on the non-GX Volcanion. It means that you will, with a Choice Band, get a one-hit KO on Volcanion EX. And it means that you will, with a Choice Band, get a one-hit KO on Turtonator. That's pretty tasty. Damage-wise, we're doing alright. But you get to discard 2 energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. So let's take, for argument's sake, Ho-Oh GX. 4 energy, 180, will get an easy one-hit KO on Crawdaunt. So you bring up Crawdaunt here, you use Double Needle, you do 80 damage, you discard 2 energy attached to Ho-Oh. Well, all of a sudden, they've only got 2 energy attached. Which means that even if they attach a 3rd energy, they're not going to be able to attack and get a one-hit KO the following turn. Now, what they will be able to do is maybe retreat to the bench and play a Max Elixir, but that's unlikely. Maybe they'll play an Energy Switch, but most of these Volcanion decks aren't playing Energy Switch. So most likely what's going to happen is your opponent will switch to a non-GX Volcanion, and then unless they've got 3 Steam-Ups, they're not going to be able to get the KO. And that is where Crawdaunt comes in. It's all about attacking once, and whether you get a KO or not, you can slow your opponent down so much that they can't KO you, giving you a second attack. Because although 80 for free energy isn't great, it's arguably even worse than Charizard. If you can get 80 for 4 energy, and then your opponent can't KO. So you get another attack and you get a turn of being able to set up while you can just leave Crawdaunt attacking. Then all of a sudden that attack cost isn't actually quite as expensive as it looked at the outset. And this will work a lot of the time. So let's say something like an Alolan Ninetales. Generally, they hit for 160 for free energy, but they need to discard 2 of them. So a lot of the time here, the ideal is that you put 2 water energy on and a double colourless, discard the double colourless to do 160. Well, in comes Crawdaunt here, hits for 80, discards both those energy, and then Alolan Ninetales is using a double colourless and sniping for 50. That's nowhere near as good. Now there's every possibility your opponent has a Pokemon already built up on the bench ready to go, and if they do, that's going to kind of hurt. But if they don't, you're basically costing them an attack, or at least costing them the attack they want to do, because Alolan Ninetales can still use Ice Blade to hit 50 somewhere on the field. Ho-Oh GX can still use Sacred Flame to do 50 to one of your opponent's Pokemon. And that was not intended, but both of those attacks actually do the exact same thing, which is a little bit strange. But hopefully here, your opponent doesn't get a KO, which means you get another turn of attacking, and of course, you discarded 2 energy with Crawdaunt when you attach this turn, so in theory you should be able to discard 2 energy when you attack the following turn. The problem is here that sooner or later you're going to get a KO, and when you get a KO, your opponent is probably going to bring up a bench Pokemon that can get a KO, because you won't have discarded any energy off them, and at that point, that's bad, because then you're losing all 4 of your energy. And you can't use double colourless here. It's water, 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 colourless. Not to mention the fact that, yes, you can use Aqua Patch, but it's still a 4 energy attack. You've still got 4 Aqua Patch in total in your deck, so I'm not 100% convinced this is the best use of your Aqua Patch. The thing you've got to remember is that you've still got good water Pokemon in this format that can potentially make better use of your Aqua Patches. Like, for instance, Lapras, who does 160 and can't attack the next turn for free energy, but then again, you can either play a Pokemon Ranger or just switch to a different Lapras. And then you've got the aforementioned Alolan Ninetales, who, yes, they have to discard the energy, but it's still a pretty good attacker. And that's what worries me here. I don't think this is a bad attack. I love the 80 damage. You'll 2-hit KO most stuff with a Choice Band. You'll 1-hit KO pretty much anything that's weak. I like it. I love the double energy discard. That's wonderful. But the problem is, I just worry that it's not enough for 4 energy. Now, of course, what you can do is just play a general energy denial deck. So you can be playing cards like Plumeria, which allows you to discard a card from your opponent's side of the field, as long as you discard 2 cards from your hand. So you can be using that to get rid of your opponent's benched energy. Similarly, you can be using Crushing Hammer to get rid of your opponent's energy on the bench, or Enhanced Hammer to get rid of any energy that is special in nature. Maybe you bring in Umbreon as your GX of choice here, using Dark Cool for a dark and a colourless to discard 2 energy from any of your opponent's Pokemon. Maybe you use the newly revealed Gyarados GX, I'll try and remember to put a link to that video in the description, to discard 1 energy from each of your opponent's Pokemon for just a single energy attachment. I think this could work. But the way it would have to work is attacking with Crawdaunt to get 2 energy off your opponent's active, while using other cards like Crushing Hammer, Enhanced Hammer, and Plumeria to get energy off your opponent's bench Pokemon so that they don't have a Pokemon with enough energy to come and KO you. Team Flare Grunt won't do a huge amount here because that only discards from the active, although use it with Crawdaunt and you will get free energy off at once. And I think this could be fun. I don't know how competitive it would be. The 4 energy attack cost really puts me off, but being able to discard 2 energy from the active every time you attack, while then giving you the freedom to use stuff like Plumeria and Crushing Hammer to get rid of your opponent's energy on the bench, could really, really help. Or then again, your opponent might be using stuff like the non-GX Volcanion, non-GX Yveltal, etc., meaning that they can just constantly attach energy to the bench while attacking. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? If nothing else, this is fun, and it keeps up with the energy denial that Crawdaunt was doing in Primal Clash, and that makes me very happy indeed. I'm going to give Crawdaunt between 2 and 3 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. I don't think it's some amazing game-breaking card, but as a little bit of a rogue deck, I like it. And let's be honest here. If you can be attacking, discarding 2 energy off your opponent's active, while using Plumeria and Crushing Hammer to get rid of their benched energy, you are going to have a fun game, and you are going to drive your opponent crazy. But I want to know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. That's where the live action happens. And I will be doing a PTCGO stream at 7 PM UK time tonight, so come and join in. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus pods, etc., you can do so at patreon.com/PTCGRadio. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.